we finally have our first look at the Galaxy S27 Ultra. And everyone is asking the same question: why does it look like an iPhone? But the reason Samsung made this change is actually much bigger than the design itself. Let me explain. For months, we thought Samsung was finally bringing back the classic Galaxy camera design. A leaked filing even made us believe that Samsung was returning to the Galaxy S10 era. But according to ICE Universe, that's not happening. This is the real S27 Ultra design, a massive camera island stretching across the entire back. And honestly, I understand why people are frustrated. At first glance, Samsung looks like it's following a design trend we've already seen from the iPhone 17 Pro and several Chinese flagships. But here's what almost nobody is asking: why did Samsung need to make this camera island so large in the first place? Because Samsung didn't create this design just for looks. This island solves three major issues that Ultra phones have been dealing with for years. And that's the part of the story everyone's skipping right past. So let's start with the battery. The S27 Ultra is expected to jump to around 5,700 mAh, which would be the biggest battery ever inside an Ultra phone. And that's not a coincidence. By moving the camera hardware into a wider island, Samsung gets more internal space to rearrange components and fit a larger battery. Next up, the leaked design shows Samsung finally adding magnetic rings to the Galaxy lineup. And while I'm not fully convinced until we know how Samsung solved the S Pen interference problem, this could fix one annoying S26 Ultra issue. The S26 Ultra supports magnetic accessories through compatible cases, but the camera placement makes some accessories awkward to fit. With this new look, things will get much smoother, even if it doesn't have the built-in magnets. And finally, the S26 Ultra cameras looked impressive, but they also made the phone wobble more when placed on a table. This wider camera island fixes that by spreading the hardware across the back. And it also makes sense because the S27 Ultra is getting more camera upgrades. The main and ultra-wide cameras are expected to improve, while the telephoto setup is being rearranged with the 5x lens moving into the previous 3x position. And this will be the only difference between the S27 Ultra and the S27 Pro. Plus, we could finally see a front camera upgrade after years, with a system similar to Apple's center stage style selfie camera that can keep you framed without rotating the phone. All of these upgrades need more space. And this is why Samsung might have accepted the bigger camera island. Because here's the thing, I am not saying that this is the best design Samsung could get. But after seeing almost the same Ultra design for years, people naturally resist a change this big. We saw the same thing with the iPhone. When the first iPhone 17 Pro renders leaked, people hated the camera design. And later, the iPhone 17 series outsold the previous generation. But yeah, Samsung could have handled this transition much better, instead of making fans feel like they abandoned their own design identity. And that creates another problem. For the first time in years, the lineup could look completely different. The cheaper S27 and S27 Plus are expected to keep the cleaner design, creating a bigger gap between Samsung's own flagship phones. But the bigger question is whether this new design actually gives Samsung the camera advantage it's chasing, because Apple is making a completely different move with the iPhone 18 Pro Max. Click here to see why Samsung might still be behind. This is Techtics, and I'll see you there.